Doctor Who will continue its death spiral as new episodes arrive on Disney Plus and on BBC in May. And Ncuti Gatwa is here to ensure that it falls probably even faster than what we might expect. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And indeed, Ncuti Gatwa wants Doctor Who to feature a dance scene where the Doctor destroys a monster with twerking. Because that worked out so well with She-Hulk, that show has no longer getting a second season, and it looks like it has indeed been canceled. But that is what Ncuti Gatwa wants for the future of Doctor Who. He made these comments while speaking with Entertainment Weekly in a massive promotional piece for the upcoming series. He told the outlet, I need a big dance number. That's what I'm going to put into the universe. I need the Doctor to have a big, fierce dance routine that like destroys a monster with twerking. Or maybe some death drops, and that's what will drop the monster. I mean, what absolutely ridiculous comments here. I mean, if this is what he wants, imagine what they've put into the show already. I mean, this show is going to be an absolute disaster. And I'm going to be here for it. I mean, we've already seen ratings significantly decline just with the anniversary specials and then his debut as the Doctor on that Christmas Day special. And I can only imagine that it's going to get even worse. I would not be surprised if it goes below 1 million in the United Kingdom. I don't think it even charted here in the United States on Nielsen when those specials came out. I don't think that we saw that at all. So a US audience, especially on Disney Plus, not interested in Doctor Who at all. So we did get some more comments here as well. Not only did Gatwa reveal he wants a dance number with twerking, he also confirmed the show will attempt to push disordered sexual behavior. We saw this already with the first anniversary special, where they were literally pushing transgender ideology with a character claiming to be transgender, which is just, you can't be. It's an impossibility. Men cannot become women, and women cannot become men. It was a man pretending to be a woman in that episode. But this is what Gatwa told Entertainment Weekly while discussing the costumes for the show that designer Pam Down had shown him. He said, she laid out her sketches on the table, and I saw kilts and skirts and all kinds of gender-pushing, societal-pushing outfits, and I was like, yes, let's do all of them. I mean, this show is just going to be utter degenerate. It's going to be absolutely terrible. You should not be exposing yourself to this stuff because that's what it is. It's just propaganda. And if you are a former fan of Doctor Who, it is a humiliation ritual where they're trying to get you to buy into this stuff, even though you know that it is indeed wrong, but they're trying to get you to accept it anyways. Interestingly, after noting that the show will promote disordered sexual behavior, Gatwa also declared that the show reflects where Britain is societally. So they're not only trying to push all of this stuff, but they're trying to say that this is what Britain is now. I kind of probably disagree with that. It is obviously, I think, trying to shape narrative rather than trying to reflect reality. So it's going to be trying to push this more onto the people of the United Kingdom rather than this is what the United Kingdom is. But this is what they want to project to the world, what the United Kingdom is. That is for sure. And if I was a member, if I was a citizen of the United Kingdom, I would be completely and utterly embarrassed and probably outraged that this is what they're portraying your country as. But this is what he said. The show is so quintessentially British, and it's a show that has accumulated the power to reflect where Britain is societally. I was like, it would be really interesting to travel through all the subcultures of Britain that it's had in the past up to now through his clothes. Remember, his clothes are supposed to be societal pushing, gender pushing stuff, right? This character represents the UK in a weird way, almost like Captain Britain. So how do we tell that story through fashion? So again, this show is going to be a humiliation ritual for British citizens that watch it. I suggest you don't participate in it and reject it. But none of this is surprising. We've seen this going back a couple months now. The Daily Mail previously reported that Gatwa promised the show would lean into his leftist liberal bubble. This is what he said. As I say, I live in a very leftist liberal bubble. And in fact, there's a really great episode coming up next year where we lean into that. We had also seen Millie Gibson telling The Independent that the show, quote, will attract a lot of Gen Z because it will, quote, go with the times and represent a lot of faces and themes that are really important to see on television. To that point, she also detailed there's so many controversial elements to this season. the good sort of controversy, and it's what we need to see on our tellies. Obviously, one can just assume that it's going to be absolute degenerate garbage. She then admitted that many viewers will be put off by the show. Some people might think this isn't the Doctor Who I know, but I'm really excited to see it. It's really cool that they're doing concepts like these and changing up. So they're admitting that it's not even Doctor Who, right? In promotional pieces for the series. And as I noted, the ratings are going to be an absolute disaster. Which is great. More and more people should not watch this show, and it's great to see these ratings go down. I think these numbers are way too high. But as we saw last year, the first debut episode for Ncuti Gatwa, The Church on Ruby Road, was one of the least watched debuts for a new Doctor in the history of the show. It only saw 4.7 million people tune into the episode in the United Kingdom. The episode only outperformed the very first episode of Doctor Who, An Unearthly Child, that saw William Hartnell play the Doctor. That episode, which premiered back in 1963, only brought in 4.4 million viewers and saw significantly reduced viewership due to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Subsequent episodes of Hartnell's Doctor saw viewership balloon to 10.4 million by its 10th episode. So you can see that 4.7 million, absolutely atrocious number for the debut of a Doctor. Not only was Gatwa's first standalone episode of the Doctor the second worst debut for a Doctor, but the episode had the worst ratings for a Doctor Who Christmas special ever. So worst ratings viewership for a Christmas special. And I can only imagine that it's going to get lower, and that's what I hope will happen. And I will be cheering for that to happen because this just absolutely looks terrible, sounds terrible. And now they're wanting to make it even worse by having the Doctor kill a monster via twerking. One can only imagine that is something that they probably will put into the show. But let me know what you guys make of Ncuti Gatwa's hopes and desires for Doctor Who, and what are your expectations for this upcoming season? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always speak the truth, but to always be charitable.